All right, so let's continue with this brotherly love vibe now. Now, while we're saying that Oasis was the only band that was actually doing rock and roll, there was only one band that was actually being rock and roll, and that, of course, is the Black Crowes. Same deal, though. Very public drug abuse, all kinds of infighting within the band, but they have also, in their opinion, managed to maintain. I present the Brothers Robinson. I remember it might have been about 10 years ago. I got up early on a weekend morning, jumped on a motorcycle. The girl I was dating at the time said, let's go see the Black Crowes play for free in the park. And you guys played in Toronto, and there was so many people who showed up, and it was a weird kind of...
I remember that.
It was
8 years ago.
Was it 8 years ago?
92, the Q107 party.
That's right. And it was this big cultural event, and I remember thinking, because someone was asking me about, the Black Crowes.
Why are they doing this for free? We did a lot of free concerts then because we could, and those were great. I remember everything about that afternoon. And
I remember the big countdown to free marijuana. Legalize it with this huge marijuana leaf.
Yeah.
And the place went apeshit when he did that.
Free us, no narcs.
Hey, my dearie, be sure to keep your nose clean.
I woke up one morning and realized like I'd been hallucinating every day for like a month, and it's like, hey, that's not healthy.
When we talk to bands, they use the word uncompromising a lot, but a lot of times you get that from them after 1 or 2 albums and you really can't make an assessment. We're uncompromising. You get one right.
It's all about the music, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a baseball player. One game at a time, 110% on the field.
What does uncompromising mean to you?
Making the records and the choices that we choose to make, knowing that they're not the most commercially viable choices. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's not on purpose. It's just we don't seek that out.
Being soulful ain't being fashionable, man.
I always find it fascinating to watch people evolve as musicians. Evolving as brothers is got to be things that you can't explain in interviews, because everybody has a brother, but for some, or a sibling or somebody in their family, they can't understand. We still ask you questions about it. Can people really comprehend the depth of the relationship, the depth of the love and the hatred and all that other shit that came in the middle?
I don't know. I don't think we do. I mean, if we intellectualized it, we would probably be missing the visceral, instinctive part of it that makes it difficult sometimes. But like we were talking downstairs, there's an intrinsic part of what we do that it's just genetics. We come from the same two people. We grew up in the same environment.
I love him, I just don't like him all the time. And he'll say the same thing about me.
Is this like a sibling?
People also telling me, man, there's no way I could ever be in a band or work with my brother day in and day out.
Don't take back me, no, no. Come on and be my conspiracy, yeah.
Rock and roll appeals to guys a lot of times. Rock and roll today, I think the one difference between what's rock and roll today and what was rock and roll is the idea that it's okay to be... There's a femininity to sexy rock and roll that Jagger had, that even in his own way, Nirvana and Kurt Cobain, there was a sensitivity there that isn't in the rock and roll that's being made by the new artists today.
I don't see how fun it would be to be in and how like weird homoerotic overtones it is to be with pierced, tattooed, shirtless men rubbing against each other in a mosh pit.
It's wrestling, man.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, God bless you if you get your kicks, man, but I'd much rather sit and take a bath with my wife and have her do my hair and go shopping for shoes with her and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, call me a little girly man, but but you have fun in the mosh pit and I'll be backstage with my wife. We want to be the biggest band in the world. You know what I mean? But we're not going to be someone we're not to make it happen. I'm not going to have short hair because every other band on TV has short hair. I'm not going to... Flares are cool, man.
Sometimes you watch or hear music and it's just these sort of crap insincere cliche like, you know, baby, I love you and all this shit. And there's never really anything that goes past that. There's nothing, there's no, people don't look at songwriting.
There's no intimacy.
People don't look at songwriting like a craft, or when Chris writes lyrics as painting these visual, sort of using lyrics as a visual template, and how it makes people feel and what it makes people see and how many ways that you can interpret that and how it makes you think. And the same thing goes for music, because there's so much depth to songs and music that people are missing out on. And I sort of feel bad because no one's getting that.
If you really stopped and if you could, it's kind of like some visual drug or something. If you could get away from that and stop and stand and be independent from the mall people. Where are the bands, man? Where are the great bands that stand up for something other than just playing it safe? Well, you know what? People can despise me because of the things I say, but you know what? You're getting me. Get your liquor.
It was a real pleasure to check out the vibe here, and I'm not disappointed at all.